Welcome to the collective energies for November 18th through 20th. So, these next few days are about enjoying the creative, fun, enjoyable aspects of your work, your projects, your life. Let your mind wander and your attention wander as well from one activity to the next. With this energy, you can get more done actually if you go with the flow of your interests and your moods rather than trying to force yourself to stick to a project or a task that feels demanding or uninspiring. Even if you don't have anything enjoyable or any creative projects to work on, then at least try to jump from one task to the next pretty regularly over these next couple of days. Maybe answer emails for 30 minutes and then call a prospective client and then, look at your colleagues' work and give them some constructive feedback for the next 30 minutes and then work on a proposal for 30 minutes. You get the idea, right? So, varying your tasks and lots of variety in your life is going to make life and work flow a lot easier now. People are going to be pretty expressive and they'll tend to share their opinions pretty freely now. So take note though that they're also pretty sensitive these days, much more so than they were over the weekend. So if you have to deliver any constructive criticism or negative feedback, try to really think through your messages and see if you can phrase them in a way that will get your points across very gently. A particularly effective technique for this would be to start by assuring them that you care about them and you're on their side. Just tell them that you really want to help them make whatever they're doing as solid as possible. And then once they understand that, they'll be much more open to whatever comes next. Monday afternoon and night could be a very good time for writers, artists, or other creative types who have a deep or intense message they want to communicate through their works. It's also a really good time to have that heart to heart with your sweetie or your business partner or your family member or some loved one. This energy kind of gives you the perspective to look at long-term goals in your life and or in the business partnership you're trying to create together. And just remember, though, that what I said about people being very sensitive to criticism, if there's anything you don't agree on, be careful to voice those opinions gently and make sure you're coming from the heart and not dragging in any emotions from the past or letting fear of commitment or fear of vulnerability get in the way in this conversation. That's true whether you're talking about a life partnership or a business partnership. Then Tuesday is the day that just about every astrologer in the world has been talking about because there's a huge shift that's happening that's going to affect the whole world for the next 20 years. It starts tomorrow, or well, on the 19th. It has to do with a big transformations, I should say, that are coming to restructure our current reality, propelling us into the future. This energy will put a rocket under AI and any other future-focused technology, electronic vehicles or electric vehicles and all that kind of stuff. We'll probably get a real boost under this energy for the next 20 years, like I said. It will also usher in a shift from top-down governments and other authority figures toward different social groups and the general public. To give you an example of its power, the last time in history that this happened was during the French Revolution, when the populace rose up against their aristocracy and put them down. So this is really powerful. I'm not saying that, people are going to overthrow governments necessarily, but there's no doubt that the common everyday folks and their groups that they belong to are going to see gains in status and power. For example, corporations will probably have to pay a lot more attention to their employees' needs and wants over the next 20 years. And organizations like labor unions will definitely gain influence. This won't all happen immediately, of course, but there's no doubt that the power structures will look very different in just a few years. Now, people who are sensitive to the collective energies will probably feel this shift immediately with a sense of elation and joy, almost like freedom is finally here, right? And to some extent, this is true, but we're going to have to make some changes in how we treat certain groups of people, like racial minorities, Native Americans, immigrants, people who come from different ends of the political or social spectrum, people with differing abilities, all those different types of groups. We're going to have to learn to treat them with respect, with love, with fairness. And that's going to take some work. We're going to have to dig into our own shadows to do the work ourselves in order to make that happen. So my question is, are you ready to roll up your sleeves and do your part in this now? So those are the collective energies for the next couple of days. If you want to know, and for the next 20 years, in some cases, if you want to know what that means for you personally, go ahead and email me at info@eaglecondorcenter.org, and I'd be happy to meet with you. Have a great couple of days, great week. I will catch you next time.